Welcome back. This is IC Fresh. Yes, I'm out here again, shining because I'm blessed. And today I'm going to talk about making space as we continue on. Last time I was talking about how to fan the flame. And now that I talked about fan the flame, this time I'm going to talk about how to make space, basically. So it's not going to be that long. It's probably going to be like the last video, probably about 7 minutes. It's not going to be much to say for this part. But basically, I'm going to explain what making space means. So maybe you are waiting because you don't want to commit, but the harvest comes from investment and responsibility. So maybe you're waiting because you don't want to commit to something. But if you don't commit, then you can't harvest. You can't harvest from investment and responsibility. So if you want to wait, but you don't want to commit and you don't put your harvest into investment and responsibility, then there's nothing for you to get out of it. Commitment brings clarity. When you want clarity, you have to have commitment. So if you want to have clarity, then you need commitment in your life. So less is more. If you don't allow a division of energy to the life source, can flow in your desires to cause a result. So focus your energy. Did you limit your options or increase your harvest? So you got to focus your energy, and in that period, did you limit your options or increase your harvest? But increasing your harvest is where the power is found. So make space for the growth that would have never been possible. So we have to make space for growth. And if you don't make space, you're not going to grow. So like it says in John 15, 1-2. One second. Do I have it on here? I should. Here it is. John. John 15, 1-2 says, I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine dresser. Every branch in me that does not bear fruit, he takes away. And every branch that does not bear fruit, he prunes, that it may bear more fruit. Already you are clean because of the word that I have spoken to you. So that was John 15, 1-2. So what does he mean by that? So preparation is clearing away the irrelevant to produce the greatest harvest. A commitment to trust. So if you want to have a great harvest, you have to commit to trust and take away or clear away the irrelevance in your life. So focus on the now, be present, and let the now be a present to the future. So the waiting is not for you to peek over to the other side and get all the gear you need when you finally go to the other side. Waiting is about investing in the now, knowing who you will become today to transform your tomorrow. So waiting is about investing in the now, which waiting could be investing in the relationship. So who you will become today to transform your tomorrow. So don't waste space in your heart holding on to things you cannot use, because when tomorrow comes, you don't need what you're holding on to. It could have been a space for a miracle today. So don't waste space in your heart holding on to things. So those things could be many different things. It depends. Maybe, I don't know, there's a lot of things it could be. So are you holding on to what you think you need for tomorrow, not having what you need today? We have to learn how to depend on God daily because only God knows what you need tomorrow. In Hebrews 12:1-2, Hebrews 12:1-2 says, where are you? Hebrews 12:1-2. Hebrews 12:1-2 says, therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us also lay aside every weight and sin which clings so closely, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us. So looking to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God. So what does it mean when he says lay aside and wait? So lay aside means to lay something down and push it away. So maybe you're not laying down your pain. Maybe you're not laying down your bitterness. Maybe you're not laying down your sorrows. Maybe you're not laying down your anger. So how do you make space? So look for the empty things. So those empty things, like I said, can be anger, whatever you can think of. So look for the empty things that take up your time and space. Decide to stop reaching for them. Clear the air of those things that are weighing you down to focus on God. So those empty things can be different. I mean, it could be friends that you need to clear the air of, because if you keep those friends in your life, all you're doing is being weighed down, and your attention is never focused on God because you've got the wrong kind of friends or the wrong kind of influence in your life. So the word weight describes a weight that inhibits a runner from running his best. So we're a runner in the Christian faith. So if you're weight down, then you can't be running your best. You know the weight you need to let go that can be hard to make space or keep tripping over things that weigh you down, or living for tomorrow instead of today, or be exhausted. Release what is holding you today. So lay it down, push it away, make space for what matters. So sometimes it is not sin, but the peace of life. If your heart is clean, then you have chosen the better thing. You can be full, but your soul is empty. So you should not bank on the promise of others, but only on the one who can give you the promise is God. Read that again. You should not bank on the promise of others, but only on the one who can give you the promise is God. So waiting is a key. It unlocks the door to peace. We should not pull all the weight of our identity on friendships and ourselves to fulfill what only God can do. If we do it, we'll be crushed under the weight when we try to lift it up by our own strength, leaving us paralyzed. So the last point here Then I'm done. So redemption takes place in a moment, and restoration continues for a lifetime. So redemption takes place in a moment, and restoration continues for a lifetime. So like I said, that's about it. Like I said, I usually write these down so it's quicker. Sometimes I don't, so it might take a little longer to basically get my ideas ready and what I'm going to say. But make space for the things that matter. Take away the things that don't. We need to make space for God's love. Make space for God's joy. Make space for God's peace. Make space for God's kindness. For all those things that need to be placed in our heart to make space for His grace. But instead, we like to push that away because we want to focus on what doesn't help us in the spaces that grace should go. Instead, we're going to make a space, but let me make space for anger. Let me make space for pride. Let me make space for lust. Let me make space for sin. Instead of letting God in, we just push that away. Instead of pushing our sin away so God can come and make space for Him to invade our life so we can be changed, we'd rather keep the sin and let go of God's hand in our life. But that's about it. And God is good all the time, and I'm out.